Yes, can put it on the floor and get to the basket, post up, mid-range.
I think he made 3 threes last night. Yeah, he made 3 of 5 threes. Karl-Anthony did. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Joel shoots a few too many threes, but he can make them too.
But, Skip, you know, at the end of the day, look, if a running back has a problem fumbling the football, what do you tell the defense? Try to get the ball out. Well, people perceive Karl-Anthony Towns, be it true or untrue, as being soft. So they're going to see how far they can push him. And at some point in time, you got to protect the ball. Running back that says protect the ball. Okay, Karl-Anthony Towns, you got to protect your turf. Because big men are going to try to intimidate you. See, the thing, and with Joel Embiid, you got to look at it, Skip, like, okay, he does what he does. But what are you going to do? He's 7'2". It's like Shaq. Shaq was they knew Shaq didn't play any games, but Shaq was 7'1", 335. Joel Embiid is 7'2", probably 350. So what are you going to do? But at some point in time, Skip, you got to stand your ground. Sometimes you got to take a butt cutting just to prove, like, and I tell people all the time, I was like, guys, I really don't know how tough I am, but I promise you, you don't want to find out. Well, Karl-Anthony Towns said, look here, I might not be tough, but you don't make me find out just how tough I am. And I think Joel Embiid put him in the spot last night, Skip. He was willing to find out just how tough he was. Because he's like, you know what, Joel? Enough is enough. The Twitter is one thing, but now you shoving me in front of, people, keyboard, I call it keyboard courage. People got muscle, got thumb muscles. Ooh, they strong, Jenny. Just
real confident behind the screen.
Anything. But when you do that in front of an arena, Skip, in front of all these people and people watching at home, and people see him shove you, you don't do anything, Skip, that's a bad look. And Karl-Anthony couldn't go for that. He's like, I'm standing my ground, I'm dropping anchor here, enough is enough.
Okay, so I mentioned that Joel has some Dwight Howard in him, but there's a point of no return because over that line is what also Joel has that Dwight doesn't have. Joel's a tough guy. Joel will play big and strong and physical and tough. That's what I love about him. He'll take and make big shots. Dwight has little to no real post-up game, no interior scoring game. You can't go to Dwight in the fourth quarter. Trust me, you can go to this guy down the stretch. This guy can make his free throws like crazy. He's already off to, he's 82% so far. But last year he took the second most and made the third most, I think, free throws. So he's a high-volume free throw shooter who can make the free throws.
A big man that can shoot 80% is gold.
And yet he won't give up the antics because his quote after the game, I like to get in people's minds. Well, that's fine to a point, but at some point, you're just better than he is, and it's not worth it.
He can't help it, Skip. You know what he reminds you of? He's a more talented, a more gifted, a more dominant Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman couldn't stop those antics, Skip. He was going to get rebounds regardless, but he felt he had to pinch the guy on the butt. He had to knee the guy, had to trip him. He had to do all these other antics. He didn't need to, but he felt it. And once he felt he got into a guy's mind, well, I got you. You know, you see him and Karl Malone Skip in the finals. He pushed Karl down. Karl pushed him down. Dennis trying to get up. He falls back on the ground, make it seem like Karl Malone pushed him down, and they had to come between them. But that's his game. I don't know if Joel Embiid is ever going to leave this behind, Skip, because that's a part of who he is now.
Dennis Rodman was 6 feet 7 inches tall with little to no offensive game. Maybe none.
None. He didn't have enough.
Like nobody even expected him to score 1 point, but they did expect him to get 12 or 15 rebounds.
Well, he had an offensive rebounding game. That was his offense, offensive rebounding. Give him second chance.
But if he failed to score, nobody noticed. This guy is a scorer. He is a big-time defender. He is a shot blocker. He can rebound numbers-wise with Dennis Rodman any day or night, and yet he can't leave alone all this.
No, he can't.
All the byplay because he enjoys the social media. His Instagram was posted last night from a place called Broad Street Bullies Pub, and I thought that was fitting.
There you go.
He considers himself one of the Broad Street Bullies, going back to a hockey reference.
The Flyers.
I like it.
You do like that hockey reference.
I'm glad you guys all know.
In the end, here's what you have to know about the circumstance of this last night. There were 6:42 left in the third quarter, and what was the score?
They were already down 20.
Joel's team was ahead by 20 points, so he was fighting from a position of strength.
Correct.
He was escalating from a position of, I own you again tonight, right?
Yes.
And that's why Karl-Anthony finally, out of frustration, it just boiled over. But what Joel's going to have to figure out, he's going to get suspended. He said he didn't deserve suspension. Well, trust me, it looked like some little punches were thrown on both sides. Well, you can't let this go.
And it doesn't look good that the NBA, that you involved in this and you're hyping the crowd up.
Yep.
It's kind of like, Skip, just like, you get, I remember Brian Cox used to get thrown out of the games, and as he's walking off the field, he's flipping the birds. Well, you've already wrong, so don't make it double wrong. I don't know. I agree with you, Skip. I don't know how Commissioner Silver just looks at this and says, okay, it's no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
No, I believe he's going to probably get a game or a very, very stiff fine at the bare minimum. But you're probably right, Skip. He's probably going to get a game. But he can't, Skip, this is a part of who he is. He's not leaving this behind.
Well, as he was leaving the court, they were all chanting MVP, MVP. And I'm good. I'm there. Yeah. But I think it's going to take some growing up to be able to assume the mantle of the MVP of this league.
And you see Karl-Anthony Towns' mom was in the stand.
Oh, yeah.
She wanted to come down and fire on Joel.
And he got a kick out of that because he tweeted that she was giving him middle fingers. And it did appear in the video that I saw as if she was doing that.
And I don't know if that was his dad, but someone was
somebody's trying to
like, babe, come on, come on. You do, I mean,
cameras will spot you.
And she was like, I need to get at him.
I assume they were at the game because Karl-Anthony grew up in Edison, New Jersey. And I assume it's close enough that they could just drive over to Philadelphia. I don't think they go to every game. But for Karl-Anthony, that's not the best look. That will enhance the soft reputation.
Well, Skip, you remember now, what was this? Was it the Celtics? When LeBron got into it, and Glow stood like, hold on, but that's my baby. Y'all, and LeBron was like, I don't know if I'd have used the words that he used.
Sit your down.
Down. And you know what? Glow goes to the game. We never had another incident like that again.
So she's Glow to you now.
Glow. Oh, yeah, Glow. We're the same age.
Okay, well.
We're the same age.
It's like you know her.
Oh, my bad. Okay, Gloria. I want to because people are like, man, he called LeBron. You hear Sharp on TV call your mom Glow. So I don't want to put that.
Yeah.
Gloria, LeBron's mom, had an incident in which and LeBron was like, look, mom, let me have. I'm grown now, so let me. You used to have to fight my battles when I was a little younger, but I'm a grown man now. Let me handle this. Everything gonna be okay. So you just go ahead and put pain on people. But you know what, Skip? Some people just have an image. Now a lot of this was now Charles locally people know you didn't fool with Oak. Oak would fight in the arena. If Oak said, meet me in the tunnel, Oak would literally meet you in the tunnel.
Nobody would have even tried this with him.
No, Skip. No. I've known Oak for 25 years. Oak fight anywhere, anytime, however you want to do it. He still has that. He's calmed down a lot now as he's gotten older. And I was like, man, Oak, what if you should have had this persona 25 years ago. He's like, it wouldn't have worked. Because Oak came up in the time in the 80s, Skip, the tough guy was needed. Because guys would run slap over you. There was none of this pity pat stuff. Now, these guys, the Knicks, that was as close to a football mentality that you've ever had in the NBA. When him and Xavier McDaniels and
Mason,
Mace and Charles Smith, Skip, and Ewing, Skip, that was a football mentality. And
when Pat Riley coached them, they played football.
They did.
They did.
When them and the Heat,
not fun to watch.
When them and the Heat would get together, Skip, it was.
Those were the days. And then you have Michael Jordan, who cold-blooded killer. Nobody messed with him, and if you did mess with him in practice, he dropped little Steve Kerr.
Yeah, he swung on Steve.
Dropped him.
Weddington swung on Weddington. Oh, no, Purdue was at Purdue.
Well, Purdue, Vanderbilt University. Thank you for
swung on him.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
You proud of that, Skip?
I am. Because that's Jordan. That's cold-blooded killer, man.
LeBron's like, no, guys, we can. Calmer heads can prevail. We can work this thing out by talking.
Well, I think we're going to see more of this because the two will meet again March 24th in Minnesota. I'm going to have to get back for that game.
Yeah,
I feel like this
that might be a national televised game.
Front row seats. I feel like I could pull a few strings and maybe get there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, hey, it's entertainment, and that's why we're all in this business a little bit. We've seen some more entertainment from Baker Mayfield, although I don't know if it's